Good morning and good afternoon, all depending on where you're joining us from today. Happy Friday. I hope everyone has had a great week so far. Sorry I missed you last week. I was sick, had COVID unfortunately, and then brought it into my house. Yep, I sure did. Now my daughter and my wife are both sick, and they're not real happy with me to say the least. I tried my best to quarantine myself off and, wash my hands and do everything. And still, they came down sick. So it's been a tough week, but I hope all of you have been able to avoid the sickness that's going around. I know there's, I don't know, 2 or 3 different flu types. There's still COVID out there lingering around, and Lord knows who else is or what else is out there waiting on us. But welcome to Creating Opportunities. I'm your host, Bill Haga, Executive Loan Officer with Rocket Mortgage Local. I always stress local due to my local pricing being a good 1% to 1.25% better than our call center. So if you calculate that on a $500,000 purchase, that's over a $5,000 savings just because your client's working with me versus the call center. Okay, I'm pretty sure I'm going to give you the best service that's available out there compared to the call center. Plus, you get a nice savings on top of it. All right. Today, I have a special guest with me. Please let me introduce Nikki James. She's a boss lady. She's a broker with James Realty, powered by Fathom Realty, and she's located in the Birmingham, Alabama market. She's got a solid 9 years in business and making a difference in her community every day. Hello,
Hello.
Nikki.
Hey, Bill. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, thank you. How's Nikki doing today?
Nikki's doing pretty blessed today. So grateful to be here in the land of the living. So it's business as usual.
Awesome. Yeah, it's nice to be vertical for sure. And like I said, I'm
Exactly.
not coughing and hacking after every third word that I'm saying, so I'm feeling better, feeling like I got some energy back into me finally again. Mercy. So so Nikki reached out to me, and she had a client there in Birmingham, and she needed to get him pre-approved. So when she reached out to me, she was also telling me about the down payment assistance program that the city offered. Remind you, Rocket just opened up our program book to start signing up for these state and city programs. So it was great timing, great opportunity. Thank you so much, Nikki, for thinking about me. Um, I was able to get the information from Nikki. I reached out to the city, spoke with Evan, who's a pretty solid guy. He was very easy to talk to. If I needed anything, he was, Johnny on the spot. So can't speak highly enough for Evan. Thank you, Evan, for all your help. But at that point in time, we still had a program that we still had to get approved. So as I'm, scrambling behind the scenes trying to get that all taken care of, I'm also up here trying to pre-approve our client, who, thank goodness, had good credit scores, 700 plus. But once again, didn't have, the 2 main things that you need when you're buying a house. He didn't have a down payment, and he didn't have any closing cost, right? So when you brought the down payment assistance program, that was really the solution to everything that he needed. So good job for your research and figuring all that out. So today's agenda, we're actually going to go through this down payment assistance program that's offered by the city of Birmingham, Alabama. And we're just going to discuss it. Hopefully we can get this information out to a lot of first-time home buyers that are needing down payment assistance, right? This is one of those solid programs that's obviously in place to help as many people as they can. All right. So, Mary, if you could, can you go ahead and pull up the bullet points for the program? Awesome. I'll see if I can't zoom in here and see these things. There we go. Okay, so the program is Ready to Own program is the name of it, Ready to Own, right? So they've got $10,000 sitting there that can be used for down payment money, buying the rate down, closing cost, all kinds of good stuff, right? It'll cover just about everything that's out there. There's some, obviously some things to it, right? The house has got to be within the city limits, right? And that one of the steps, Nikki, it's got to be
That's
within the
one of the
city limits.
stipulations for the program.
Yeah, and then I know that our client had to complete a home buyer's education course and get a certificate.
He did. And just if I can pinpoint for 1 second, I'm a part of an organization, and we were actually figuring out about different type of programs, and they've been connected before we joined it. So I do encourage agents as well to get out to get the information. So I didn't really take him to the program. He was a part of one of the seminars I went to, but it was about the agents getting out to receive information. We had received it through our organization, and we became one of the main people that they partner with to go to the seminars. So with that program, one of the stipulations is you have to go through the seminar, and you also have to receive additional requirements like the city of Birmingham, additional home inspections and things like that. So the client had put a little legwork in the beginning, becoming a part of the program, and we sort of kind of got him across the finish line.
Gotcha. Yeah. So when I came on board and was brought into the whole transaction, our client already had his certificate completed, his education was done. I mean, he was ready to go.
He was on it.
Yeah. He said, Mr. Bill, it's time for me to buy a house. I've got way many plans to be sitting here renting.
Yes,
when
sir.
I first need a house. So I love his entrepreneur spirit. I mean, he is fired up. He's got like a whole list of things he's ready to do. So we'll get to him here in a few minutes, but we'll go ahead and kind of go through the program and get on it. So he completed his little home buyer workshop, if you will. Now here's everyone who can participate, right? You just need to be a first-time home buyer. First-time home buyer is anyone who hasn't been on a loan or hasn't been on title of any property in the past 36 months. All right. If you don't have to worry about that, congratulations, you're a first-time home buyer. So then the next thing for the criteria for this particular program was a 600 credit score. Like I mentioned, our client had over a 700 credit score, so that made it really easy. Most, and I think probably 99.9% of these programs, these down payment assistance programs, are going to be tied to, an income limitation.
It is.
It's just what it is. So in this particular case, it's 80% of the area median income. He's a single adult, so in his case, it was $53,700. In which case, a lot of people will qualify for that program, right? I mean,
Say that one more time, Bill. I want you to say that again for the people that are listening. Because people don't apply because they think they can't qualify.
Yes, right. I mean, you got to go out there and take a risk before something like this can bless you.
Yes,
right?
Sir.
So once again, income, the max income is $53,700. If you make below that as a single individual person, you're going to qualify for this program, right? If you got some credit issues, no big deal. Credit's credit. I've had bad credit, right? Life events happen, right?
Agree.
A divorce, a car accident can change everybody's life, So life happens, but it's fixable. And 600 is a pretty easy score to obtain, right? Get you a couple credit card accounts set up, establish credit, start paying things on time. If you got some collections out there, we'll get them paid off if necessary. Make sure you talk to a professional like us before you do anything on your own, because you think that you're doing the right thing. The system doesn't rationalize reasons or emotions, right? So sometimes we're paying something off thinking we're doing the right thing, but yet it causes us to lose 50, 60 points, right? We don't want anything like that to happen to you. So make sure you talk to me first before, paying anything off or down. But we got a whole program for that, fixed credit is my whole point. All right. So income, once again, if your income's below that, hey, we should be talking. You should be contacting Nikki. All right. The home buyer little section, all it is going through like a little course. It's pretty simple, but what it's doing is educating you on the buying process, right? Um, Contracts, talks about appraisals, talks about inspections, talks about every piece of this process so you understand it. Okay. So those are great things. I love those things because they don't, like my boss's boss mentioned in the conversation the other day, we have 700 to 800 conversations a month or maybe even a week regarding buying a house. They probably talk about it 4 times a year, maybe, right? Or their lives. I mean, that's a big, big
That's a
separation
big
between the two.
difference. That's a big
So
look.
I
I have a
remember,
little statement, Bill. I tell people when something's wrong with my car, I go see a mechanic. I don't know anything about cars, but the
right?
mechanic does that every single day. He specializes in it. So our
Yes.
clients make sure we know
So
you don't know this process, and we want to make it easier for you. So come to us. We're not going to give you like, any bad advice. We want to make sure you're ready for the journey, and being ready for the journey, you've overcame 90% of the obstacles already.
yeah, and $10,000 in our scenario, our purchase price was like 82.5. Um, we got $10,000. All right, so that covered his down payment of 3%, and the rest was set for closing costs. I even used funds to buy down the rate because I had additional funds. Right, so he even got a lower rate than what he was even expecting. So the program, did exactly what it's designed to do: help somebody within the city limits get into their first home and pretty much as inexpensively as possible. All right, so those are the good things. All right, so let's kind of talk about some things that shocked us as we were going through the process, because we got to the point where, and it's us probably, right? We're in the
Mm-hmm.
business, so it's probably our itch. We got the clear to close. We're ready to schedule a closing, and we're ready for final numbers. We're ready to move these chains, and let's get this thing scheduled. And then all of a sudden, the brakes got put on us. Evan from the Down Payment Assistance Program there at the City of Birmingham reached out to us and said, hold up, we got more things to do. We were like, more things to do? We're ready to go. We're the lender. We shouldn't have any more things to go. Oh, but we do. So they hit us with a final inspection. And now, mind you, once again, this is all normally done in the beginning. And this is what took Nikki and I off our step a little bit, because we weren't expecting it. So let alone our client, we weren't expecting it. So when we got the call and said, hey, we need another inspection, after we had already got through our inspection and the appraisal that we had, now we did have a PIW, which is a property, what is that? Property income waiver, right? So we didn't have to have someone literally go to the property physically and perform a traditional appraisal, right? The good thing on those things, they're about a third of the price, and we get them in just a couple of days. But at that point in time, the value is good with us. The value is good with Fannie, right? So we're clear to close once again. We don't need to discuss anything else other than a closing date. And Evan contacts us, says, hey, we need an inspection. So that's when Nikki started jumping through some hoops. And Nikki, I'll let you pick it up from here, because that was kind of, stuff that was away from me for a bit.
Yes,
You did a
yes.
good job figuring that out.
So we had to go into hyperspeed because we had a closing date already picked. We already had spoke with the buyer and seller and the listing, and we want to make sure that these homeowners, because part of the real estate game is really not agent against agent or client against client. It's about getting everybody to the table and everybody is winning. So we didn't want to create any more frustration. So we got the ball rolling to get this inspection. But once we started the inspection process, we had a couple of things that were mandated by the city to get done. So when we started that process of getting everything mandated, we ran into a couple obstacles of getting everything that we needed on a detailed list. And the program is set up to do exactly what it needs to be done. And I think it was a learning opportunity for everyone throughout the process, and things we know to ask a little bit more in the beginning. Because I spoke with Evan when we closed, and I was like, Evan, is it possible that we can possibly get together and collaborate to make it a little bit more efficient, to be able to do something a little bit sooner? He said they're already working on those things. The one thing I want a lot of people to walk away from looking at this video is a lot of things are trial and error. We will have problems, but we need to be the problem solvers. So, like Bill said, we all stepped into problem solving mode. What do we need to do to make sure we get everybody to the closing table? And that's key to making sure we have that mindset of the client's best needs, connecting with the right programs, making sure every obstacle that is given, that we overcome those obstacles. Like, okay, I know this is what needs to be done. How can we get around it? Can we push the closing date? Can we have it here? Because at the end of the day, we were so grateful on both ends of the transaction. The clients still appreciated the work that everybody put into getting them to the closing table. They saw the obstacle. They were frustrated. I think everybody got a little frustrated for a moment. And then we were able to breathe for a second. And we said, okay, this is where we go from here. Like, do we still want it? We want the home. Yes, I want to sell my home. That's what the seller said. The agent was like, I'm still in it. I'm still in it. Let's go. It was game time. We went into our little huddle and we did our little breaking out cheer, and we all went for the finish line.
Yeah, we did well. I thought, to kind of unpack that a little bit. So the listing agent called me and was explaining to me, hey, this is our scenario. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I understand. And then I said, let's go ahead and bring Nikki on so we can, talk through this as a team. So we got Nikki on the phone. We talked through it. We figured out that, it was tight on both sides. But yet we'll figure out what we can do. And they put their minds together and they figured out a solution. And what was the overall solution? Did the client actually go over there and take care of the repairs?
The client was actually able to get everything done on their end, to get everything progressed. In which most cases, the client or the seller is generally that person. But then if you have it to where it can be where the buyer is doing it as well, if that's a stipulation or an option for them to do it and still proceed to close, we can do that. But the seller was able to get what they needed to get done to get us to the closing table. They got a contractor to come out to fix the things that were necessary, because we needed, one of the big things that was holding us up, we did need a detailed oriented checklist, or a punch list, as we call them. And Bill was talking about, to say, okay, when we get it done, we don't want to have to do the back and forth. We want to make sure we're basically crossing all T's and dotting all I's at one time to make this as efficient as possible.
Yes, by all means. And like I said, everyone jumped in as a team. Collaborated, because once again, we're all after
Birmingham neighborhood. Yeah, everybody sort of kind of jumped in.
Yeah, it was great. So now we get to the closing table, everything's great, sign all the documents, and it gets his first set of keys, right? That was awesome.
That was very, I got a call from Bill this morning, or a text saying, hey, I got a picture with the client with his keys. He was ecstatic, guys. Now for us, that's although we get paid for our job, for me, for both sides to see the work that we did and be equally as excited about selling and also buying the property, that's our finish line. That's our goal every single time that we like to hit. Because in anything that you do, there will be, like we say, obstacles. And we just have to understand how to overcome it. So next time when we get into a situation like this, if we can be a little bit ahead of the game, hopefully we won't encounter the same situation. But seeing him with those keys, and he was like, I'm a homeowner. Like, yes, sir, you're a homeowner. We're leaving this closing table today as you've been a homeowner. And that's the goal. That's the finish line.
Yes, and to know his past and what he's come from and what he's gone through, and that's a ton within itself to overcome, let alone now be a homeowner within a couple of years of experience and what he went through. So congratulations to him. Super great story. I was just thankful to be a part of it. So as we go through and still kind of unpack this, how do you think the overall communication between the three of us went?
So Bill, I think that's what we wanted. Even though it's obstacle of things we needed to do, I think because of the clear, concise conversation between all of us and communicating. And that's not even just the three of us. I feel like that was that, but also with the listing side and the listing side talking to the seller, everybody was clued in. So you want to make sure when you get you get a team that has the same finish goal in mindset. Everybody's able to collaborate. I was notifying Bill on things he didn't even need to know. But just in case it popped up, I wanted him to be aware, like, hey, this is what we're trying to do, even though I didn't have to let him know at that time. You don't want to say hindsight is 2020. I want to give you that upfront if I can. And that way we're all aware, the client was all aware. We spoke about the seminar the client went through, and I was lucky enough to teach his seminar. And one thing I did in there was unpack all the things to earnest money. So it wasn't any pop-ups throughout the process. And I think that's how we win for our clients, making sure they're informed. Because we can't stop obstacles all the time. Sometimes we can, but sometimes it's just things that come out of left field, like, what is that? What do I have to do now? But we can do our part. We can educate, and then communicate. Once we're educating them and educating ourselves about programs, communicate all the information. So Bill, I, and the client, he was like, Ms. James, I got everything into Mr. Bill. Mr. Bill said I needed X, Y, Z. I sent all of that information to him. And Bill will let me know as well, and the client will let him know. And on my end, when I received something, I did the same exact thing. Sir, this is what I just sent over to Bill, and I'm going to let Bill know this, and I'll talk to you. So communication is key. And I think it was excellent on all ends with the communications. I was in awe of the deal, because even before we had the obstacles, everything was just running so smoothly, like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, we were going to close that thing fast, weren't we?
We were.
Yeah, it was definitely clicking, and I thought the communication was great. I also feel like the way that we personally handled it, based off of, us and our own emotions.
Bill, I think you froze up. Guys, if you can hear me, give us 1 second. I think we're having technical difficulties. I'm going to text Bill because I don't know if he knows he's frozen. There you go.
Am I back?
You're back. I can hear you a little.
It was me that was filming.
Okay.
I don't know where I left off or whatnot, but I guess what I was just saying was, I was pretty impressed with, the communication on all levels. It made everything so much easier. Everyone handled, our emotions. That's what I was talking about.
That's exactly
when things pop up.
You froze again.
Right, for direction.
Okay.
And regardless what's happening, we need to keep our cool. So we make sure that everything else is remaining cool. So I thought the way we remained cool and collective and worked through it also, gave relief to our client, and he knew that we were okay, right?
Agreed.
He was secure. I know he got upset a little bit, but outside of that was it.
He did to a point, and I actually, when we talked about it, I think it was the reassuring process. We were able to reassure him, like, we're still in it with you. We're able to get to the finish line now. We didn't expect this obstacle, and he had a night to where he just had to vent. And he called me the next morning. He said, "Ms. James, I'm so sorry. That wasn't directed at you." And I said, "No, sir, you don't have to say you're sorry. I understand. I get it. We're flesh. We're human beings. And sometimes your cup can almost run over, or it does run over. And you have to really sometimes release it. Sometimes I tell some of the agents that I mentor, I train, sometimes you have to be a counselor. In the business that we're in, sometimes we're counselors. I won't say we're a priest. We're not a priest at the time. We're a friend. We're a family member. We're whatever we need to be, because in real estate, we believe more so of creating a relationship versus the transaction. If you're in it for the right reason, it's not for the transaction purpose, but it's for creating that long-lasting relationship. And I think that really got us across our finish line as well, because it wasn't you talking at the client. I wasn't talking at the client. We were talking to one another and making sure we did this thing together.
Yes, it's all about teaching, right? I mean, we're educators. Agreed. Yeah, so if you always take an educational approach, everything else should be pretty easy, right? I mean,
agreed.
A lot of times, like when I'm taking a an application. I mean, I could truly take it as I'm interrogating somebody, right? Because it's just, question after question. Or I can be relaxed and say, hey, this is just like a normal conversation. That's just sitting at the kitchen table. Just relax. I'm not, asking you what your blood type or, what you did in high school.
I agree.
So it's all, it's a calming atmosphere because, I mean, let's face it, this is like the third most stressful thing you will
Yes,
do in
it
your life.
is. This is big, and a lot of
And,
people don't understand the
for
weight of what this is. Like buying a home, this is a very big purchase. One of the biggest purchases you'll make, like you said, one of the top 3. And you want to make sure that you're going through it with the right people, that you're able to have a level head, and that you're educated. Even if you don't have the right people, if you're educated a little throughout the process, you can be a little bit calmer, a whole lot more stress-free.
yes, and then to know that the same team's going to be with you throughout, right? So any
Agreed.
needs that he needs that pop up because he's talking about buying future property,
Mm-hmm.
that's going to be you because we did such a great job with him. He's already reached out to me. He says, Bill, I'm looking for financing for this, this, and this. What do I need to do to get in place for that? So his mind's already going, right?
Agreed.
Which is
He said it at the
perfect. That's
closing table
exactly what
yesterday.
we want. We love that.
He did.
Yes.
He did.
So that's
That's
all
what I
super
encourage
exciting.
people to do. Even the agents, like that's one thing I try to teach the agents I train. Don't just think about that transaction. If you complete the one that you're on in the right mindset as a relationship, your future transaction will come because you'll get business from that same person and you'll get referral business from them.
Yes, no doubt about it. So during the process, I always ask for referrals anyways. It's kind of part of what I do. So he hasn't got any for us yet, but he does have some friends, obviously, that are,
Mm-hmm.
want to know how he got a house, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the curiosity's spreading. So I'm sure it's just a matter of time before we start seeing some business come from him and his referrals. So great
Agreed.
opportunity. Thank you again. I had a great time going through it, even though it was a little stressful at moments.
Did you say a little Bill?
What
Yes,
one is it? Man, it's
yeah,
just
so
another
a
day in the
little. It's all
office,
in the
right?
way that we took it though, because we can say a little because we had to deal with it and make it do what it needs to do.
Yeah,
So I understand it.
that is the case. So I wanted to, definitely thank you, Mary. Can you pull up Nikki's information so anyone in that Birmingham area? I shared a link with you earlier, and hopefully you can pull it up. Pull up Nikki's website with her contact information, and everything on it. We'll see if we can't get some people in that area interested in the program. I mean, the program, to me, I mean, at the end of the day,
It was
solved
still a
everyone's
blessing.
issues that we had. Yeah,
It
it was a
was.
blessing for sure. We got a super happy client. We were able to help a seller in a situation which we both know could have turned pretty ugly for them. And so, yeah, that was all good stuff.
Agreed.
Mary, there should be a link that you can pull up that should have her website on it. I think I sent it to you in a second email. Go ahead and get your page pulled up here, and
Okay.
there we go. So reach out to Nikki. There's a lot of homes in Birmingham that are for sale within the city, right? A lot of different opportunities there.
Yes.
So if you're in that Birmingham area, definitely jump on Nikki's site, reach out to her. She can get you listings based off of the purchase price that you're looking for. She can get you all taken care of there. She can get you referred over to me. I can get you pre-approved, and then of course we collect all the documents up front, so then we
Yes,
can
sir.
submit in to underwriting for a verified approval letter, which is always the preferred route.
It
That
is.
puts us right below cash. And let me go ahead and pull up the last bit that I've got here to talk about. I can do that. It's always fun when you're trying to find things.
You're good.
I'm used to 4 screens, and I only have 2 here at the house because I'm taking care of everybody. So in my office, I got 4 screens, so it's pretty easy to maneuver. But all right, I wanted to see if I had any other questions here for you. So we both agreed the down payment assistance was overall a success.
It was a
I
great
give it,
success.
yeah. I mean, however you slice it, I still give it an A,
Me
maybe
too.
an A minus, just because of last minute things that we weren't aware of. But moving forward, we're full aware of them. We
That
can
part,
already,
Bill. Yes.
we can, we can be prepared. We can communicate to the client and make sure that they're already aware that, hey, this is going to happen. Maybe we can even talk to them about moving their inspection up.
I started on yesterday talking to Evan. And I know he said, well, I'm not with the city, but I said, okay, if there's any way we
Yes.
can collaborate, because one thing we have to understand, we have to be part of the solution to the problem. I said, well, I understand that I can help even if they're not my client, to see if we can get that change going forward, regardless of who they're using, push it up a little bit sooner.
Yes, by all means. So then, we have a little smoother in landing than what we had. But I mean, it was all worked out. I mean, we had to back it up a few days, but at the end of the day, the client was ecstatic.
Yes.
We got one closed. We did a good thing for the city of Birmingham. We got another one closed for them, and got someone out of renting. Right? I mean, the rent trap. Sit there and think about that for a second. We actually, someone's going to be building wealth versus building a landlord's pocket,
Mm-hmm.
which always makes me happy.
Creating some equity.
Yes, absolutely. So then, and I was explaining to him that, in the future, you can pull cash out. There's all kinds of different options. Pay off all your debt. Now you don't have any debt. I mean, life changes when you have a house. Okay. So instead of driving that $75,000, beautiful car or truck, maybe you consider buying a house instead. Something
Come
that's
on,
going to
Bill.
grow in value versus going down.
Yes, come on, Bill. You teaching today.
Well, Nikki. Well, Nikki, thank you again. I appreciate the collaboration. I look forward to closing more loans with you and doing more things together, especially in the city of Birmingham.
Yes, sir.
I'm a big fan of Alabama. I lived in Gulf Shores there for a good 4 years. We'd go to Montgomery all the time to the drive-through zoo. If you haven't been there, go to the zoo. Let an ostrich peck you on the head or something. It's always great for family entertainment. But I've just always been a fan of Alabama. So if you're looking to purchase in that area, please make sure you contact Nikki. She'll definitely take care of all the needs that you got. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you again, Nikki. For everyone else, I will have my phone and laptop on all weekend, as well as taking care of my family. But if you need anybody that's looking to get pre-approved, remember we get them verified approved. So let's get them verified, and let's get them under contract, and let's get them a set of keys. All right. Thank you, everyone. Take care. Have a great weekend, Nikki. I'll talk to you soon.
You too.